those of you who are concerned for the wrong reason, trying to find your life in a rape called pedophile, corporate partnership run world. For all those of you who are racist, fools, sexist from the other gender, ironically, you need not concern yourself with trying to silence me, because my videos will not change the dating paradigm. People, after I'm gone, will be conformist cowards. Okay. Bravery is the determinant here. A lack of moral courage is what makes it so no one else is a viable candidate for top martial artist. And it also makes it so that after I'm gone, their fate is sealed and no one can meet the burden of proof. When you want to be the leader of somebody, especially the spiritual leader, in a world of con arts and misdirection and illusion and even mind control and brainwashing, and they're coming out with sex bots, and we'll get into that later. Okay, all kinds of nonsense. They're blurring the line between everything. Everything's illusion. Women have painted faces like cartoons. You don't know if they're women or man or cyborg these days. I mean, we're pretty much there. Okay. The burden of proof is on you. I met the burden of proof for the top martial artist, right? The burden of proof to be the logical assumption. Even if I was wrong, God couldn't blame me, because no one else is anywhere near a more logical candidate for the top martial artist or to lead you to God. So it's either me or nobody. I've met that in my key reasons I'm the top martial artist playlist. So now let's look at this. This argument, write it down. MLK, point of reference, P-O-R, poor, the poor person, right? Where you're going to look first, perhaps, to pour the spirit, right? The point of reference, to pour the reproductive fluids, right? The Martin Luther King point of reference. This point of reference word is key in regards to pouring the spirit, pouring the semen, poor people, and so on and so forth. Okay. Backwards, rope, ripe, rape. Okay, point of reference, P-O-R. The Martin Luther King point of reference and the unmeetable burden of proof argument. Number one, the left wing. Okay. Their argument is, if you are too masculine, African masculine martial artist, the left wing does not want you to be a spiritual leader, and perhaps not even a political one. Why? Because feminism, which dominates the left, is about the political, social, and economic equality of women. They want someone like her to be seen as a social leader. As a, to say that, hey, it's a patriarchal world. They want her to be the spiritual leader of the left. The right is a white, racist party. They have never had a black president, and they have never truly had a black spiritual leader other than, wait for it, Martin Luther King. Could Martin Luther King be accepted by the right today? No. Trump won the presidency with support of white privileged racists, white scientific racists, and the poor white racists. The right wing today is more racist than it was in Martin Luther King's time, the Republican Party. Okay. So when we look at this society, we have to look at which groups of people are allowed and why. It is a mistake not to rule out the big three races, the financial powerhouse races, the whites, the Jews, and the Asians. You must rule them out right away. Boom. Can you meet the burden of proof when your groups are allowed to be rich and to be very influential? Buddhist psychology, yoga, and mental health, right? Can you meet the burden of proof to be a spiritual leader in a corporate partnership dominated world with technologies that they can literally read your brain these days? Can you meet it? No, you cannot. After I'm gone, nobody will be able to meet the burden of proof. Why am I able to meet it? It has to do with form. It has to do with comparison. Compare I, son. Who spells it out like I do? It has to do with parent and a parent. After you factor in on top of a situation where they can't meet the burden of proof as it is, that the only guy that could, but leading up to that, says no way, no how can anyone connect to God. They are sealed, because steel, the wheel, the loop, the reproductive cycle, technology, the car, the chariot, the boat wheel, they're sealed because they made a deal with the devil to live on earth in terms of selling out their morality and their children to evil. Every group is ruled out because of the moral determinant. Bravery as a determinant, a lack of moral obedience, which is the only way to have moral courage. Can you go on and on about how morally courageous you are while you live a life of immorality, depravity, and decadence? Certainly you can't. The only way to have moral courage is to obey God. And the only way to obey God is to obey God in the most logical way. That's not following the sage, who in every major religion that is allowed to exist has replaced the warrior. In Hinduism, they replaced the warrior. In the New Testament, there's no wars, so to speak. Jesus says, let's go fight these wars. No, there's no wars. Because the mage replaced the warrior. And he had, like Harry Potter, he's like, I came to bring a sword, wearing a thong. We also see that they have made it so my own people don't have the moral courage to stand behind their true leader in a racist nation where everyone is a clannish ninny. Except for me, pretty much. Why didn't they come together and say, he is black like us. Everyone plays their race card. We're playing ours. He's black. We're on his side. No. Because they have accepted slavery. They didn't have the moral courage to stand by me. And they weren't wealthy enough. Again, the point of reference is the poor. Who are the poor races? The blacks and the Hispanics. Are there Mexican martial arts as such? Are they extremely competitive in the martial art using their own traditional martial arts? Do martial arts come from Mexico? Can roll them out. We must look for the source of the force. Of course, when it comes to martial arts, Mars being the horse scale. The horse scale is the Harry Potter scale. Think about it. Does a great warrior like me get on a horse and say, charge, guys? No! He cuts the horse's legs from under him and grabs the mini-me and slices them through the fucking mouth, through the fucking brain. Thump! The burden of proof isn't on the guy that doesn't ride the horse. It is on the guy that does ride the horse. The burden of proof isn't on the ectomorph. It is on the endomorph. Titties flapping. I dodge. Knife could have killed you. Could have killed you. I could have stabbed you in the eye. You know, the burden of proof is on the fat fuck that can't keep up. Try to keep up now. Try to keep up. The burden of proof is on those pussies who say, I don't understand what he's saying. Huh? What do you mean? Huh? What do you mean? When I speak in Greek? You fucking idiots. Try to keep up. Think fast. Snap out of it. Fuck do you think the burden of proof is on? Point of reference. One of my favorite arguments is the Royal King argument. They say treat him like a king. Rodney King? Martin Luther King? Or the real king? The king of the Igbos. The heart of Africa. Think outside the sandbox in the north and the west. The heart of Africa. In the heart of Africa nation, it is where the land is fertile. If you were fighting with the local tribes, would you say, I have the sand, I call the sand, I call the sand, with a Fulani thong on? Think about it. Yes, we grab those pussies by the neck. Say, you stay in the fucking sand, you bitch! How the fuck do you think it went? And they called for reinforcements from Northern Africa. Hey, Arabs, we need help, we're bitches. How the fuck do you think it went? Read a fucking book. Okay? I'll tell you, I could go tribe by tribe. I could go nation by nation. There's no tribe like the Igbos. Africa's most brilliant and most physically gifted race. When the European came to Africa, they said, we need hard-working, smart guys to do a good job. Where did they go? Right to the Igbo land, Calabar. The slave traders. Millions of Igbos brought. We need superior helpers. Suitable helpers, like it says in their Bible. We need superior helpers to breed with, to get the big perky titties and the martial art genes in our females. Think about it. How could it be any other way? When I've just spelled it out like that, are you like, huh? Like a gaslighting Western ninny? Or do you know what the fuck I mean? When you go to a strip club, is it sag titties? Is it flappy? Is it methamphetamine, pockmarked asses? Is that what you go for? When do you think it hit them? I like perky tits. Where do you get them from? Do you get perky tits from the endomorph body? Or do you get it from the martial art Horus body? That's why Horus is a play on words for whore us. Because those who don't have the heart to live in the true martial art principles are whoring their faction, their group of this people. Igbo backwards, Obi means king, heart, hut, and temple. How can you be more of an Igbo than me and you don't have my heart? The heart of hearts is here, not anywhere else. All right. Other martial artists deceive using darkness. Their color isn't the sun. They're not the Skywalker. They don't have a sun on their flag. If they do, it's not a yellow one. And it's not surrounded by red, black, and green by people who put other things before God's covenant, the monarch, the archetype, Horus, the Ark of the Covenant, the Ark of the Strike. But rather the mace coming down. It's like a half circle. Bang! Obviously, my form is reduced. You see someone who was obviously as athletic as I used to be standing up in your face. Let's go! Right? Is the burden of proof on the pussy? Or is it on the Royal Martial Art, or is it on the Royal Martial Art King? Of course it's on the pussy. Of course it's on those guys who go, hey, I'm going to dress in a thong and I'm going to do martial arts with her and tone it down. We're going to tone it down. When you go to war, do you go, hey guys, let's tone it down when we train? No. Is martial arts tone it down, pink G-string arts? Or is it war arts? Raw. Like raw, R-A-W, backwards, is war. The marshalling force, the natural and supernatural marshalling force, nature mature. Mate Ra. When you do a ritual to bring in the next pharaoh, do you wear a condom or is it Ra when you spear it? Are you spearing like a knee? Is that soft enough? Or you bow? You deliver the force of God. You motherfucking sex bot using pussies. My goodness. Panther, right? Pant her. Why? Because they get tired. I'm going to sit my fat ass down right here and let some skinny, fucking steps aerobics, some CrossFit ninny whore, do her thing. She's the one tired. Horus, whose language is it? You think someone like me would make that language? When the language reflects ninny Harry Potter sages and fat fucks, ball-worshipping, bull-belly fucks having the upper hand. Who the fuck do you think wrote it? Who the fuck do you think is your oppressor? Is it Narmer the Great? Or the fat fucks and the Harry Potter pussies that came afterwards? Those thieving, lying snakes. Who the fuck do you think? Anyway.